What's up, y'all? Bet you didn't expect to see me walking through that door, huh? So here we go again, huh? Before I forget to mention anything else, for those who don't know, Jay and Jack, who do the famous Lost podcast, did a 25-hour podcast this last weekend. They stayed up straight for 25 hours podcasting, and they had a lot of guests coming on. They had Jorge Garcia was on there, and I think Daniel Dick, him might have been, but I don't know yet if he made it. But basically the podcast was to raise awareness for autism. It's kind of funny, I have a little story about autism myself. I was sitting in English class in the 12th grade, and this girl, Cindy Langford, she asked the teacher, is Timothy Bishop autistic? Timothy Bishop is me. And the teacher said, I don't know, why don't you ask him? Because I was there in the class and she didn't realize it. And after that we kind of just gave each other a high five. But I mean, I don't know if I'm autistic or not. I know I have certain tendencies, but there might be a slight case, a weaker version of it, like Asperger's or something. I don't know. I've never really had a professional diagnosis or anything, but it's kind of a close subject to me, so I did donate. And if you want to donate, the PayPal email address will be open for like the next few weeks, and it's lpdonate@gmail.com. I'll put it across the screen here, so you don't have to try to decipher my muttered language, my whatever, you know. Anyway, so about this episode, holy cow. Yeah, they kind of, you know what's funny is they kind of hyped this one up a little bit as having like this big twist. And I kind of sort of called the twist right near the beginning. I said, I was in the chat room and I said, wouldn't it be funny if Jin and Sun were flashing to different times? And that ended up being exactly what it was. I was like, oh, man, that's pretty cool. But I've actually been reading around, and I apparently was not the only one who called it. There was a lot of people who did. There were people who called it like 2 or 3 weeks ago, actually. So I'm like, okay, whatever. But I thought that was pretty cool. When I found out it was true, I was just like, hey, yeah. I think the thing that tipped me off the most about it is most people say, well, it was the phone or something like that was what gave it away, or, you know. The thing that gave it away to me is that when Jin was shopping for the panda bear, he didn't seem as joyful as, you know, because we know Jin has changed since being on the island, so if this was a flash forward, he would have been a different kind of, yeah, he wouldn't have been so serious and threatening, I mean, you know, and all that stuff, so, but glad to be rid of those. Anyway, yeah, I'm sitting here cleaning up my house at the same time as I'm doing this. I cannot wait for this next episode. I wish I could just sit here and talk about the next episode the whole time, because I'd sure love to. In fact, I don't know. I'm sure nobody would object to that, but this is a Yeon review, which is the title of the episode, so maybe we should just stick to that. So what the heck is with those lima beans, man? What the heck? You know what's interesting about it is that the last episode before this one was about a gas station, and now in this episode there's beans, which are like notorious for making people fart and give them gas. And as far as I know, they didn't have a way to cook the lima beans, and I was reading somewhere that if you eat them raw, they react with something in your stomach to create some kind of cyanide or something. It's like, well, yeah, that would be some serious farts. That would be some fatalities going on there or something. I have no idea. But I'm watching. I got the episode on right on my TV over here. You want to see? See, Son is over here talking to Daniel Faraday right now. So, yep. Just nothing like nothing like having it on in the background to get you in the mood. It was funny though, because this is only the third time I've put it on. The second time I watched it was yesterday, Monday, and when I first put it on, I was just thinking to myself, you know, I'm kind of lost it out. And I didn't think that was possible. I don't know, maybe it was just the mood I was in yesterday or something. But I think pretty much the most obvious explanation for the lima beans is probably just that they didn't have anything else. This freighter had been out there, and they don't seem to have access to a grocery store of any kind, so they were probably running out of food and using the lima beans as a last resort. And another mystery that's really getting under my skin is Regina. Supposedly she's like this huge character, like Mikowski. You know, it's like the two characters on the freighter that we were first introduced to by name, or the first two names that we heard of people that were on the boat, were Mikowski and Regina, and now they're both dead. It's like, what? But like seemingly right out of nowhere in the middle of the episode, she comes outside, she's got herself all wrapped up in chains, and she jumps off the edge of the ship, right into the water. They showed that in the preview, and people were saying, wait a minute, did somebody just jump in the water with a baby? That's what I thought I saw. it looked like someone was jumping into the water holding a baby. Like they were trying to get away or something. Or I was thinking, is that Claire? Is that how she dies? Did she jump off the helicopter? Or like, I'm sure glad that that's not what it was, but but at the same time, it's like, oh, okay, so that's it. But I don't know. Why would she do that? Is it really just cabin fever and she's that bored with herself? I don't know. She was reading the book upside down too, which is really strange. My interpretation of that was just that she was trying to look normal. Like, because I do that all the time. It's like it's like something that I would do. I would try to look preoccupied so somebody wouldn't talk to me. And maybe that's what she was doing. She just grabbed it. And I have this strange sort of theory that maybe she was going somewhere. Like maybe her secret power is that she can breathe underwater or something, and maybe there's something under the ship. Maybe there's like a moon pool under there. I mean, I don't know. It's a pretty small ship, but could it be possible that there's something on the bottom of the ship, some opening somewhere that she could swim under the ship and come up somewhere, get into a room somewhere and do something? I don't know. See, the problem is that they got to go through and reveal things so that certain characters know stuff that we already know. Like when he showed the box to Desmond and Saeed, and he said, well, Ben is in on this. It's like we already knew that, so they weren't revealing anything new to us, but they had to reveal to us that Saeed and Desmond knew it. So it was almost like it's kind of hard to explain. It's not that hard to explain. If I stopped looking at the TV, maybe I could. But sometimes sometimes it can be frustrating when they have to reveal certain things to characters because they don't know it, even though we do. And it makes it seem like they're revealing the same stuff over and over again, and that's how that whole box thing felt to me when he brought out the black box from the plane. He said, this is from the oceanic wreckage, and there's 324 bodies. And where do you get 324 bodies, he says. My first thought when he said that was, well, maybe that's what Ben's doing. He's sending Saeed off to kill all these people. Maybe he's going to use these as the bodies for the next fake wreckage, for the next plane that crashes. And he's going to use all, like the lady that Saeed killed in The Economist, she'd be one of the bodies that he would put down there in the ocean with the fake wreckage of whatever plane he's going to have crash next, if indeed he does have another plane crash. Which I don't know. I mean, I don't see why he would. He seems to have a pretty specific reason for all these people. What reason could he have for all these other ones? As far as Jin and Sun go, this was a really good Jin and Sun episode, one of the best ever. I don't know if I can't really think of one that I like better. I liked the Jin one from season 1 a lot, the in translation. For some reason, I just love that one. Jin Bernard scene, I thought that was kind of sweet, I mean, to say sweet, I don't know, guys don't use that word, but it's the kind of scene that we needed to see, a personal, this was more of a personal episode than most of them were. But what I thought was interesting about it was, why would Jin waste time with a fishing pole when we've seen that he can just throw urchins in the water and catch like 5 or 10 of them in a matter of minutes? 5 or 10 of them at one time. I don't know. Maybe it's because Claire made him use his net to try to catch the bird, and now he doesn't have his net anymore. I don't know. But it's funny because Bernard says the fish is like karma, and it's like, well, who needs karma when you can go out there and make it happen for yourself and get like 5 or 10 times as much? Maybe that's what the show is trying to say. I don't know. I doubt it, but it's just a theory. Not even a theory, just a bleh, you're right? One thing I liked a lot about this episode was at the end when Sun and Jin hugged each other. She wasn't looking over his shoulder like, oh god, he doesn't know. Because she did that like 15 times in season 3. She's like hugging Jin and she's looking off over his shoulder like, uh-oh, I'm never going to be able to tell him. And it was nice to finally see her be able to hug him and her feel a little bit resolved with her situation and with him so that they can move on with their relationship a little bit, if indeed that's... I mean, I don't know how much further you can move on than having sex, but, well, that was kind of ignorant. I shouldn't say that.